Taika is a brilliant and hyper student. She has two younger brothers, Duda and Dodi. Duda dreams of becoming a successful playwright, while Dodi just eats and sleeps all day. Although the siblings attend a prestigious school, their parents are not wealthy. Their father is a repairman, and their mother sells homemade snacks. Due to their financial struggles, Taika's classmates boycott her at school. Duda also had to give up on his play because he lacked the budget. Dodi, too, was mocked by his friends for wearing worn-out clothes. Despite these hardships at school, they are very happy at home. Their father always uses his meager savings to keep the family happy. However, these moments vanished one day with their father's passing. After his sudden death, Taika and her brothers had to drop out of school to struggle for survival. But their mother, Tootie, absolutely refused to accept this. Because their father wanted them to be highly educated, she planned to pawn everything to keep them in school. The next morning, two mysterious lawyers arrived at Taika's house. They presented a mysterious video while left by their father. In reality, their father was one of the wealthiest people in the country. He had hidden his ancestral wealth to teach his family to be independent and self-reliant. Now that he has passed away, his family is returned to a life of luxury. Taika and her family became overnight millionaires after receiving the inheritance. First, they went to a 5-star hotel to eat food they had never tasted before. Seeing Taika's family suddenly looking like high society, the other students were filled with envy. Taika even bought her boyfriend a premium motorcycle. Tootie also bought jewelry for her entire body until the inheritance money was all gone. But Tootie and the others weren't worried at all. This is because her husband mentioned in the video that he would provide more inheritance. True to his word, as soon as the money ran out, the lawyers arrived again to deliver more cash. Since the amount was triple the previous time, they bought a mansion without even bargaining. As they grew wealthier, they could no longer spend time together, leaving the youngest son, Dodi, feeling lonely. The rich girls who used to bully Taika have now become sycophants, constantly flattering her. Duta also started producing the play he once had to give up on. He hired famous actors and actresses from across the country to perform in his play. Since Tootie could spend money like water, she donated to every charity that asked. Even though they were spending heavily, the money kept rolling in, so they continued their lavish lifestyle. One day, Taika hung out with the rich girls and tried a certain strong drug. That night, she got completely wasted, which eventually brought her back to her senses. She decided to stop associating with fake friends and went back to her old friends. She apologized to them, and they became close again just like before. While Taika learned her lesson, Duta still hasn't come to his senses. He continues to pay celebrities exorbitant prices to perform in his plays. One day, a huge misfortune befell Taika's family. All the inheritance money left by their father had completely run out. However, Tootie remained unfazed and continued with her plans as usual. Soon, trouble began to brew in Duta's play. One of the celebrities he hired had become a public nuisance, and the audience began throwing shoes at them in protest. Tootie had also announced huge donations, but since the funds were gone, people started scrambling and fighting over the limited supplies. At dinner, the family members were heartbroken, realizing that millions had vanished within a few short months. Just then, the lawyers arrived and introduced a younger brother of their father who was entitled to half the inheritance. Tootie and the children were stunned, having never seen this uncle before. Since all the cash was spent, they had to sell their mansion and cars to split the proceeds with him. In the end, they became poor again and had to move back into their old, rundown house. One day, the uncle returned with the lawyers. As it turns out, their father never had a brother. The man was actually hired to play the role of an uncle to teach the family a lesson. Now that they have finally come to their senses, they are granted the full inheritance. In reality, the money they had spent was only 1% of their father's total wealth. Ultimately, Tootie and her family became incredibly wealthy millionaires, and the story ends happily. After watching this, you might want to check on your own father's background too. Thank you.